364 acres, filled with 14 roller coasters, dozens of rides, a water park, and the best coaster night rides on the planet. This place is known as Kings Island, and you might be wondering how to have the best day at Kings Island. Welcome to Theme Park Predictions. My name is Brandon, and after you've watched this whole video, you're going to know dozens of tips on spending a day at Kings Island, and other things like, should you buy a fast lane? Which roller coaster should you ride first? And which one to save for the last ride of the night? And much more. Since you're watching this video to help you learn about Kings Island, I need your help real quick in exchange. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up, because the more thumbs up the video receives, the more views it gets. Also, if you enjoy roller coasters and theme parks, then I hope you consider becoming the newest sub to my channel, because that would help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by July 1st. So I personally want to say thank you in advance. Now, let's make sure your day visiting Kings Island is the best one. How many days do you need? Kings Island is a massive park, and while you might think you need to spend a few days here in order to experience all the rides and attractions, you must know this key little secret. Kings Island is home to some of the best operations in the industry, and usually they're running all the trains on the coasters, and the ride crews are generally very efficient. So if this is your first time visiting Kings Island, what I recommend is try to visit late afternoon on the first day and stay till park close, and then visit the park the next day. This would grant you plenty of time to experience all of Kings Island's rides and attractions. But if you only have one day, then this next topic will help. Should I buy a fast lane? The rides at Kings Island that have the slowest moving lines would be the Beast, Flight of Fear, Drop Tower, and Kings Mills Antique Autos. While you might think Diamondback, Banshee, and Orion would have the longest line, keep in mind that these three coasters' capacity is much higher than the other rides and coasters that I just mentioned. So if this is your first visit to Kings Island, then I would highly recommend the fast lane, depending on the day, just so you can experience Kings Island the best way, especially if you don't like waiting in lines longer than 15 minutes. And here's the key thing about Kings Island and what makes it so special, is their coaster collection is top notch, because each coaster, besides in Vertigo, is re-rideable, and I highly recommend riding each coaster multiple times. What coaster should I ride at night? Now this is the million-dollar question. Between Orion, Mystic Timbers, Diamondback, the Beast, Banshee, and the Bat, yes, don't underestimate night rides on this aero suspended coaster, and you can even throw in Adventure Express as well. One thing for sure is you cannot go wrong with night rides at Kings Island. And for me, it's always been a tradition and will always be to try to get the last train out on the Beast at the end of the night. There's something about riding the world's longest wooden roller coaster in the woods at night, and honestly, I can't get enough of it. Now here's my recommendation. Try to get on Mystic Timbers right as the sun is setting, then head straight over to get in line for the Beast right before park close. What to wear while at Kings Island? While Kings Island isn't quite as large as Cedar Point, the park's awesome layout makes it very easy and convenient to hop from a coaster then to another coaster that's across the park. So I highly recommend wearing some awesome Theme Park Prediction merch while you're visiting Kings Island. And you can check out my store at ThemeParkPredictions.com. You should always wear comfortable shoes, sunscreen, sunglasses, and of course light clothing. And you can always leave a hoodie in a locker or your car in case you get cold. For men out there, I highly recommend shorts with zipper pockets, because I will not go to a park without them. Where to stay? If you're planning to make Kings Island a nice staycation, then I would look at staying at their new Camp Cedar Resort. The new resort offers cabins and RV hookups for your convenience, and is only located a mile away from Kings Island. You can also look at staying at the Great Wolf Lodge, and one benefit of this option is you can just walk right to Kings Island, so you don't have to pay for parking or get in your car to get there. So this is beneficial if you don't have a season pass. And of course, there are plenty of hotels near the park, but just be sure to check out the most recent reviews on Google before booking. When to visit? Kings Island is usually open from April through December, so if you're looking to experience all the park's rides and coasters, then you need to plan your trip anytime from April through October. Weekdays in May and early June are the best times to go. Weekends, of course, will always be busier than weekdays. From mid-June through mid-August, the park is usually always crowded any day of the week. And when Soak City is open, this will clear out the dry park a little during the day, but then once the water park closes, the ride lines do get longer again. Usually, there are 2 weekends in September that Kings Island is closed due to park buyouts, so just check the date before you book your trip. Best places to eat. Over the last few years, Kings Island has really stepped it up when it comes to food offerings. My top 5 places to eat at Kings Island would be the Chicken Shack, Coney Barbecue, Hank's Mexican Grill, Miami River Brew House, home to the best burger around, Potato Works, these fries are a must. Skyline Chili, I will never get tired of eating here, and Tom and Chi. If you don't want to eat in the park, then there are tons of restaurants located less than a mile away from the park. Kings Island with kids. If you're visiting with kids, then you've picked the right spot, because Kings Island is home to one of the best kid areas in the world. The kid area is massive. There are 3 roller coasters located in Planet Snoopy for your enjoyment. The area is home to attractions like Boo Blasters, a great dark ride that is home to the best AC in the park, Race for Your Life Charlie Brown, which is a great family log flume, Woodstock Lighters, and much more. And if you're traveling with kids, located right by the park's main entrance is a height check station. So be sure to get your kids the wristbands to make it much easier on them as well as the ride operator. Is Soak City worth it? If you enjoy water parks, and this included with Park and Mission Water Park, is a great idea. But the only way I recommend visiting Soak City is if you're spending multiple days at Kings Island. Where to go to the bathroom? Seriously, very important question. Sometimes your stomach just isn't on your schedule, and when it's time to go, well, it's time to go. So obviously, I only know the men's restrooms unfortunately, but never go to the restroom located here right by the main entrance, because there's like only one toilet. So here are the 2 restrooms that I recommend using if you have to go number 2. Because these restrooms never get busy and offer AC, and there's always an available toilet. Best places for beer. Hands down, the beer garden. That's located in the Oktoberfest section of the park. You'll find great craft beers, frozen drinks, and cocktails at this hidden gem. What ride should I ride first? Orion? The answer to that question is negative. Go to Flight of Fear first instead, since it offers only 2 trains and a much slower moving line. Then, when you get off, go right to Orion, since it has a much higher capacity than Flight of Fear does. Trust me, as long as you do this first thing in the morning, this plan works every time. My recommendations: early entry for pass holders. Select months throughout the year, Gold and Platinum pass holders are able to experience a few rides 30 minutes before the park opens to the public. So check out Kings Island's website for more information and dates and times. Download the Kings Island app. Using the app, you can check out wait times, view the park map, and much more. Get there early. With so many awesome rides and attractions, I recommend getting to the park before opening so you can maximize your whole day in the park. Ride the Kings Island and Miami Valley Railroad. This train ride is the perfect way to take a break from the coasters and rides. And one benefit of riding the train is you'll get great views of Kings Island's 2 most popular coasters, Diamondback and Mystic Timbers. The train departs usually every 15 minutes, so there's no set time for train departures. Take a trip up to the top of the Eiffel Tower. This 1/3 scale replica model of the real Eiffel Tower in Paris, France is a must-see attraction. So head up to the top of the 314-foot tall tower and experience views of Kings Island that are a must-have. And you're going to be amazed just how little of the beasts that you can actually see from up so high. Plus, you can check out all the areas of the park and stay up there as long as you want. Parking tips. Take a picture of the sign at the end of the row where you parked. This will be a key factor once you're tired and ready to leave the park, so it'll be easier to find your car. Kings Island fireworks. Here's a true story. The only place I've seen the fireworks at Kings Island will be while riding one of the park's roller coasters at night or while waiting in line for the last ride of the night on the Beast. Usually, each night the park offers a short but great fireworks show to cap off the night. So if you don't want to be waiting in line and want to watch the show, then the best area to view the show would be located here in the yellow highlighted area right on International Street. Hope for a late afternoon storm. Wait, what? If there's a short storm and not a washout, and the park stays open past when the sun goes down, then take a ride on the Beast, because you might get a night ride that's filled with fog from the earlier storms. And trust me, if you get to experience this is something that you'll never forget. I've ridden the Beast hundreds of times at night, and once it was so foggy that I couldn't even see 10 feet in front of the train. That's how thick the fog was. Where to ride? Racer and the Beast. The park's 2 classic wooden coasters offer the same 3-row PTC trains. So, if you don't ride in the very front row, then I recommend riding in the middle row of each car. This way, you're not riding on a wheel seat, and the ride will be so much smoother. Where to ride on the Racer? The front 2 rows for the best airtime. The Beast, the first 2 rows or the very back. And of course, a front seat ride is a must. Banshee, back row. That first drop is hands down the best first drop on any inverted coaster out there. Diamondback, front or back, both are great, so try both. Orion, the front row for the sheer speed, back row to get pulled over the ride's first drop. Mystic Timbers, near the front or the back. Hands down, in my opinion, Mystic Timbers is the best coaster at Kings Island. the Fest House Cut Through. Don't ever eat here, by the way. It's not very good. But one thing that is good about the Fest House is the cut through, because you can walk right through it, and that creates a nice little shortcut as seen here. Don't miss out on the Bat. Kings Island suspended coaster is practically hidden and is a must ride. So if you have longer legs, ride in the front of each car for more leg room. But keep in mind, walking the Bat's queue is extremely long. But the good news is, you'll eventually find the station, unless you get lost looking for the old Sotheby's footers. So those are my recommendations and tips on having the best day at Kings Island. I really hope these help you plan for your day at one of the best parks in the world. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comments. Also, if you've visited Kings Island before and think of any other great tips, please leave them in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, stay positive, be happy, and keep riding coasters.